Hey everyone, Rylan here. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm super excited because I will be creating my February TBR, but this month, instead of me just like picking books that I want to read and like making a TBR based off of like what I am currently looking at and currently kind of feeling in the mood for, I decided to do it randomly because I have a very bad habit of purchasing books with every intention of reading them, but then forgetting about them or continually pushing them off. Yeah, I want to fix that, so I'm hoping that I will draw out a lot of backlist books that I have that I can read and finally be able to get off my TBR cart, because all of these books that are sitting on here have not yet been read, and I have a bunch sitting in my desk that have not been read either, and it's a problem. And I want to do better about reading like these backlist type of books, and I also want to try to read at least 2 book of the month books that I have sitting on my shelf as well, because I have a problem with always, renewing my monthly subscription and then never reading the books that come in my blue box every month. So I want to read 2 of these every month, and then hopefully knock out my book of the month TBR pile that I have. I'm going to draw 15 slips of paper out of this basket. Will I read 15 books next month? I absolutely hope so, but I also want to make sure that I am reading my advanced copies that I have as well, and any library books that I end up getting my holds for. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start drawing 15 titles out of this basket, and I'll find them either on my TBR cart or in my desk, and maybe I'll talk about the books a little bit if I know what they're about. I'm hoping I get a very good variety. I don't want to read all fantasy, I don't want to read all thrillers, I want a good mix of everything, so fingers crossed that I get that. Okay, oh gosh, I'm kind of nervous. Okay, so book number 1, this basket is like overflowing, it's a problem. What is the first title? Hey, okay. The first title is Happy and You Know It, which is in fact a book of the month book. This is a contemporary fiction novel. All I know is that there's a lot of mama drama according to book of the month, and I think it takes place in New York City. Yep, I'm very excited to read this one. I wanted to read it for a long time, obviously that's why I got it in my box one month, but like I said, I always buy new books and then never read them. So this is book number 1. Okay, book number 2. I just dropped one. I want to get one that like, okay, let's see. Little Fires Everywhere. Awesome. Okay. Little Fires Everywhere. This one's right here. And this is like a mass market paperback. I've had this since last August, and I haven't read it yet, so I really want to watch a TV show. It is on Hulu. I have Hulu. I will watch it someday. I believe that this is also contemporary fiction with a little bit of like suspense and mystery in it potentially. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, that's book number 2. Oh gosh, okay. So the third book that I drew out of the basket is 13, which is wonderful because this is one of my book depository books that I bought and haven't read. I mean, obviously I haven't read any of these books, but I bought this one from Book Depository last semester and meant to read it back in November, but never actually did. So I've heard really good things about this author, Steve Kavanaugh. I've heard he writes some really intense and exciting and surprising thrillers. I think they're usually legal thrillers. This one's a legal thriller. It's about a serial killer that's sitting on the jury of a case or of a trial. So this one might be one of the first books that I read in February because I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so that's book number 3. So I have 12 more. And I'm gonna drop a slip. Okay. Tools of Engagement. Cool. Okay, so this is a romance. So I was gifted this book from Avon. I have heard that this is a very fun romance series. I don't think that this is the first book in it, but that's okay. I don't really care because usually romances, when they're series, like they're just companion novels, and this just talks about a different character that's mentioned in one of the previous books, which is fine with me. I'm not gonna go back and read the first 2 books that I think come before this because I just don't have time for that. I'm really excited. I think that this is kind of a steamy contemporary romance, and we know that I love those. So Tools of Engagement, book number 4. number 5. Book number 5 is, oh gosh, book number 5 that I drew out is Middle Game. Let me go pull it out of my desk too. So I was actually gifted this book from my friend Elle. She accidentally bought 2 copies of the book, I believe, so she went ahead and sent me her extra one all the way from Canada. This is a fantasy novel, I believe. I think it's fantasy. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard phenomenal things about this author. This is a very chunky book, so I'm kind of nervous, but if I read it throughout the month, like start at the beginning of February and just take my time with it, I'll be okay. So this is book number 5. To Tell You the Truth. Okay, this one's also on my desk. I was also gifted this book from the publisher. Okay, so To Tell You the Truth, this is a thriller. I don't know what this book is about either. I was gifted a beautiful finished hardback copy of the book back in November, but I have not yet read it. So that was book number 6. So I have 9 draws left. Ready? Cool, okay. So this one is He Started. I'm reading a lot of thrillers. So this is He Started It by Samantha Downing, I think is the author. I'm gonna look at it in a second. If I can get it out. So I actually won this ARC in a giveaway. This book came out early last year, so April of last year. I have not yet read anything by this author, but I do have one of her other books at home, and I've heard really good things for the most part, I believe. So I'm hoping that this is a very twisty, engaging thriller that I end up enjoying. I'm gonna get something that's like deep in the bottom. Oh gosh, I'm dropping everything. Okay, let's try this one. Oh gosh, right. Let's not do another thriller. Yes, it is another thriller. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so next I drew an anonymous girl. This is in my desk, so let me grab that. Okay, my jingo. Okay. I bought this book at Barnes & Noble for like $8, I think, because it was on sale, and I can't resist a good book sale. So I don't know what this book is about either, because I buy books without knowing what they're about, so it's fine. But I've heard really interesting things about this duo. I feel like I've seen a very solid mix of good and bad reviews, so I'm curious to see what I think, and if I end up liking this book, then I'll probably pick up what's the other one called? The Wife Between Us, and this duo's other book that I don't remember the name of. Now we have book number 9. Let's try this one. Okay, so I got The Truth Hurts. I don't even know what book that is. The Truth Hurts. Oh, okay, yes. I bought this book because the cover was pink and pretty. And I think I've seen one review for this book on Bookstagram, but it was a really good review. So when I saw it in the bookstore, I was like, yeah, I need this, mostly because of the cover. But this is another thriller, so I guess this is gonna be thriller month for me. Cinderella is Dead. Okay, cool. So this is another one that I got from Book Depository last semester. I don't read a lot of fantasy, but another goal that I have for this year is to read more from that genre, because the few books that I have read over the past couple of months, I ended up enjoying them. So I want to read more. So I bought this book on Book Depository. The cover is stunning. I love the UK cover of this. I think obviously it's a Cinderella retelling. I think there's some LGBTQ rep in it, so it sounds very promising. Book number 11. I'm just trying to alright, ready? And oh, okay, cool. So the next book I got was Meddling Kids. I got this book on my birthday actually from Barnes & Noble, so let me pull it off my desk. Yay. So, okay, I forget where I saw this book. It's probably Bookstagram that I saw it on, but it's just, I loved Scooby-Doo growing up, and this book sounds like, not a retelling, but like, it sounds very similar to Scooby-Doo, and I think that's the point of the story. So I am super excited to read this. It's not very thick. It's very skinny book, so I'm hoping that it's a very quick read that is addicting and something I can devour. So yeah, and the covers, I love it. Okay. Okay, so next I drew off Pieces of Her, which is a thriller. So I got this book from Thrift Books after I read Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter and really loved it. I loved Pretty Girls. Wow, it was a very dark and disturbing read, but I loved it. So I'm hoping that I love her other books as well. I have this one, and then I have The Last Widow as well. So this finally gives me, I guess, a reason to read my second book from this author this month, or next month, I guess, because I haven't yet. So okay. Okay. So next I drew Forgive Me, which is a book that I actually just recently got from the publisher. It is another thriller suspense novel. All I know is that it has to do with a man who's in prison. Sounds interesting. The Vanishing Half. Okay, cool. This is a Book of the Month book. Vanishing Half. This was Book of the Month's Book of the Year. It was nominated for the Book of the Year, which I'm sad about because I didn't get a little sticker on it. I don't usually like book stickers, but this one was like bright gold, and yeah, I wanted it, but it's fine. I've heard phenomenal things about this author in general, but also this book specifically, so I'm very excited to read it. This is the 15th draw, y'all. I think I might keep drawing until I get a romance, just that way I have variety in my pile, because although I do love thrillers, obviously I don't want all of my February books to be thrillers, because I do like having that variety in there. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and draw until I get a romance. So okay, let's see how long this takes. The Shining, yeah, that's not a romance. Okay. Little Secrets, also not a romance. A Good Marriage, also not a romance. Yeah, that's definitely not a romance. Horrid, also not a romance. Wow, I have a ton of romances sitting over on my shelf, but clearly. Okay, so I drew Baby Teeth, which is also not a romance. Come on. The Lies We Told, which is not a romance. I think that's considered a horror book. Okay. Mystic River, not a romance. A Rogue of One's Own. Oh, which is, okay, so this is actually the sequel to Bring Down the Duke. I wrote down the wrong book. I didn't mean to write down sequels. So, because I drew this one out, I'll go ahead and read Bringing Down the Duke in February. Yeah. So let me grab it off my shelf and then I'll wrap up. Okay, so this is a historical romance. I've heard phenomenal things about this author and this series. The third book is coming out later this year. The cover is purple. It is so pretty. Like, these book covers, like for this specific series, is so pretty. Like, oh come on, like the colors, like this is yellow, the second one is like a light blue, and then the third one's light purple. It's so pretty. This will be the 15th book that I prioritize in February. I'm hoping that I can read all of these books, but there are also some advanced copies that I need to read, and there are a few new releases coming out that I really want to get my hands on, hopefully, and read those right away too. Okay, so let me show you guys my stack. So I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I drew 8 thrillers. We have To Tell You the Truth, An Anonymous Girl, He Started It, Forgive Me, Meddling Kids, Pieces of Her, The Truth Hurts, and 13. So these are all books that I've heard really good things about all these books, so I cannot wait to read them. Okay. Then I have 2 romances, Tools of Engagement and Bringing Down the Duke. I love this cover style, so I mean, that's why I bought this book, and I was excited that the publisher sent me this book. Covers are pretty, so I am looking forward to reading both of these as well. Then I have 2 fantasies, which I like that ratio. Cinderella Is Dead and Middle Game. This one's thick, this one's looks pretty easy, so these will be good too, hopefully. And then finally, I have 3 books that I would consider to be contemporary fiction slash just like drama. That is Happy and You Know It, The Vanishing Half, and Little Fires Everywhere. I also just want to make a note of the fact that this year I'm trying to read at least like a minimum of 5 books every month by diverse authors. In this random draw, actually, I did a pretty good job, I think. And 4 of these books that I drew are written by diverse authors, so that's great. I will pick up at least 1 more at some point during the month. Not sure what it'll be yet, but I will find something else to read because, like I said, I want to read at least 5 books a month by diverse authors. Just, yeah. And I'm gonna drop this book. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. This video is totally crazy. Making random TBRs makes me so nervous, especially because sometimes I'll just like join a readathon last minute, but I really need to do a better job about reading the books I have sitting on my cart, so, and like sitting in my desk. This was necessary, this was fun, this was needed to be done. That kind of rhymed. I actually, really quickly before I say goodbye, I do have, because yes, I'm gonna say goodbye. This is one of the books that we're reading for the romance book club that I am a part of. It's a historical romance. The cover is very pretty. So yeah, yay, awesome. Let me show y'all the stack as a whole for my thumbnail, because I'm gonna like hold it up and, okay. By Jingo, this is a lot of books. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is great. I mean, I've read 21 books so far in January, and it is currently the 18th. So like, I mean, I can most likely do it. I'm not necessarily like worried, it's just I am a little bit worried. So I'm not, but I am. Good gosh, okay. Can we do this? I don't know. Oh gosh, okay, I lost the bottom. Books are heavy, y'all. We're totally gonna, okay. Ready? Okay, there's the books that I'm going to be reading. Woohoo! Okay, cool. That was, wow, that was awful. Okay, I'm not doing that again. Thank y'all for watching. I'm probably gonna do some reading vlogs in February because they're really fun to make and it gives me motivation to read quicker, I feel like. So keep a lookout for some videos that I have coming next month. Let me know what y'all are reading in February.